Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Southern Gal True Crime. If this is your first time here, thank you for deciding to join us today. It is Friday, so this is our Case of the Week video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the case of Kara Hyde. Kara disappeared from Hamilton, Ohio in 2021. Make this bigger so I can read my slides. Hold on 1 minute. Get everything straight here. There we go. So Kara Lauren Hyde was just 23 years old when she was last seen on December 5th, 2021 in Hamilton, Ohio. Apparently, she disappeared after leaving her mother's home, her mother's house the day after her mother's birthday. She had came over to wish her mother happy birthday. She said she was going to leave to go get her mother a birthday gift and change the layout. And unfortunately, she never returned. So Kara was born on October 2nd, 1998. She had blonde hair, brown eyes. She was 5'8" tall, and she weighed around 120 pounds. She does have multiple tattoos, including a skull and a snake on her right forearm. She has a girl crawling out of a well, the word Stephen on her left forearm, a garter belt, and the word, sorry, there's a gnat flying around. A garter belt and the word loser with the S crossed out and replaced with a V on her left thigh, and her ears and her navel were pierced. And the only last known clothing I could find that she was wearing was a faux fur vest and blue jeans. So, as I said, she was born on October 2nd, 1998. At the time that she disappeared, she was living at her mother's house on Grand Boulevard in Hamilton, Ohio. She attended Miami University in Oxford. And according to her family, she did struggle with mental health conditions, issues from a very young age. She started to show symptoms of bipolar disorder at the age of 15. She suffered from anxiety and depression. She later showed signs of histrionic disorder and borderline personality disorder. Her mother says, quote, Kara and I were two peas in a pod as she was growing up. She was a very shy and fearful child. She slept in my bed until she was 14 years old. Her mother says we were very close as mother and daughter, but we were also buddies. She says they had so much fun, a lot of giggles, a very close relationship, even with some of the struggles that Kara was having. She did manage to maintain a close relationship with her mother. Going back to her mental health issues, as I said, she began struggling with mental health issues very early in life. Her mother says when Kara turned 15, she started showing signs of being bipolar. She became plagued with anxiety and depression. She developed severe abandonment issues. Her mother goes on to say that she was a very sad, very angry. And her mother also said that at the time she was being bullied by several girls at her school. It does say that she also started having self-harm ideations around this time. She had gone to the hospital for 3 different attempts to maybe get therapy or some counseling for these issues. But I believe her mother said that all 3 times that basically the therapist or the counselors that were treating her told her that she could leave anytime she wanted, and apparently, unfortunately, Kara did leave and did not complete any of her therapies. According to Kara's mom, Lisa, she said that this was a real spot for her. She says, quote, I feel the medical profession failed Kara repeatedly. The hospital did not take her attempts seriously, and she was never held for evaluation. She said, I did get Kara to a counselor once, and this counselor told Kara that she could leave if she didn't want to be there. And like I said, unfortunately, Kara left. Her mother goes on to say, as she approached her 20s, that's when she started showing the signs of histrionic disorder and a borderline personality disorder. Her mom says her moods and behaviors became very uncontrollable, full of rage, sadness, just an all around unfortunate situation. That sounds like Kara, as we said, wasn't ready yet, maybe to do the therapy, do the counseling to try to get help, and possibly this could have contributed a little bit to her disappearance. Going back to her struggle with substance addiction, her mother says, quote, at 21, now this is just according to her mother, allegedly, at 21, her mom says Kara was tricked into ingesting an illegal substance. She said after that, everything changed. Kara changed. She says the self-loathing of her situation and herself sent her on a path of self-destruction. At this time, her mom says she was in love with a guy, but she couldn't maintain the relationship. Um, I know a lot of times and I'm not a professional by any means, but just having had contact with friends and family who have struggled with addiction, I know that struggles with addiction and mental health issues make it very hard to maintain any kind of relationship with family, with a possible boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. Um, she said, Kara's mom said it broke her heart and left her very vulnerable. But however, she did keep her routine. She worked every day. Her mom says that Kara was very proud of the fact that she had not become a teen mom, and that she didn't use drugs until she was allegedly tricked into using the illegal substance for the first time. As Kara's mama says, she says, then it happened. She was tricked into taking this substance, but the mom did not specifically mention who allegedly tricked Kara into taking these illegal substances. According to her mom, Kara soon had a new boyfriend, and Lisa, Kara's mom, says that she believes that this new boyfriend turned Kara against her mother, and she said it was to the extent that Kara claimed that her mom had abused her. Her mom says, quote, I have read some of Kara's messages to friends where she tells them that I was abusive toward her. Her mother says, I have never abused or mistreated Kara a day of her life. She would tell these stories for sympathy to get what she wanted. Her mom says it hurt her very much reading these messages. She says, but I understand why she did it. She said, Kara and I did argue a lot over Kara's substance use. And once again, she got her to rehab 3 times. Kara left every time. Her mom says our relationship was strained and very stressful, but they did still have their good days and their laughs. And I can speak to this, having a family member that was an alcoholic. They do, you have your good days and your bad days. And it's just the not knowing whether today is going to be a good day or a bad day. To me, that was the hardest part of it. Was not knowing when you woke up every morning what kind of day it was going to be. So on December 5th of 2021, Kara was last seen around 1:30 p.m. when she left her mother's house on Grand Boulevard in Hamilton. As I said earlier, her mother's birthday was the day before, and Kara was supposedly going to go out to get her mom a birthday present and then come back to her mom's house. But unfortunately, Kara never returned home, and she has not been heard from or seen since. And on December 18th of that year, her mother did file a missing persons report with the Hamilton Police Department when she couldn't contact Kara. Apparently, she made several attempts to look for Kara, to contact her. I believe in one of the later slides it says that Kara did have a very close friend, and her mom said that even if she couldn't get a hold of Kara, that this friend could always find Kara, get a hold of her, find her, and make sure that she was okay. In a quote from the Cincinnati.com, Lisa's mom, or Kara's mom, said, quote, "She had made me a birthday present and she was going to go get it. And that was the last time I saw her." Uh, the rest of that just goes on. We've already went over her vitals and her tattoos that she had. Regarding more information about her disappearance, her mom says, "I first realized Kara was missing within the first few days of her not answering my calls." She said, I started calling Kara 20 minutes after she left the house. I wanted to make sure she came back because I had important issues to discuss with her. Don't know what these issues were, possibly concerning Kara's substance issues, or maybe her mental health issues, or both. She contacted Kara's best friend. That's the one I was talking about earlier. It says she always finds Kara for me if I can't. But unfortunately, even this time, this best friend did her best, but she was ultimately unable to find Kara or get in contact with her. So this is where we get into a little bit very red flaggy for me, but it's just allegations, alleged statements that Kara's mother made. So her mom said, quote, "Soon after, an ex of Kara's called and told me that he thought Kara might be deceased at Crawford Woods." So Kara's father said he was going to file a missing persons report, but he did not at that time. And Kara's mom says, "I should mention that Kara had been reported missing twice before. And the first time they couldn't find her for a week, and her father did file a missing person report. And I don't know how long she had been missing when they filed the second missing person report." So we fast forward to January of 2022, and we go back to these Crawford Woods, where allegedly this boyfriend or ex-boyfriend of Kara's had told her mother that he thought that Kara might be somewhere deceased in these woods. But in January 2022, a bag of Kara's clothing was found by her family in Crawford Woods, which is in Hamilton. Authorities did later conduct a search in the area, but they found no clues as to Kara's whereabouts, no signs of Kara, only the bag of clothing. So according to the Journal News, detectives did take to social media asking for information about Kara's whereabouts. Her mother, Lisa, pleaded for someone to come forward. Sergeant Richard Burkhart said that no new information has been received, and that a thorough search was conducted by EquiSearch, Midwest, and police in the Crawford Woods, but nothing, as I said earlier, nothing was found except for the bag of clothing, which is obviously very, very strange and very concerning. So according to Kara's family, they think, obviously struggling with a substance addiction, that Kara may have placed herself in danger with this substance addiction. Her social media has had no activity since her disappearance. Her phone goes straight to voicemail. And once again, Kara had gone missing for a few days at a time in the past, but she never for this long. And her mother says it is unlike her to not answer her phone or be on social media. So we know young people are always on social media, also always on the phone. So that is one of the major signs, telltale signs, whenever a younger person, young adult goes missing, is when there's no activity on their social media accounts or on their phone. unfortunately, that's usually a sign that something is wrong. So once again, her mother says, due to her substance addiction, Kara may have placed herself in danger. Once again, says she lived on Facebook. Nothing has been posted. Her phone goes to voicemail. Police have found no evidence of foul play in Kara's disappearance. A $4,000 reward is being offered by her family and the Hamilton Police Department for information leading to Kara's discovery. The circumstances of her disappearance still remain unclear, and the case is currently still classified as just missing. It hasn't, to my knowledge, it has not been um, moved over to a homicide case. It's still just classified as missing, and obviously still remains unsolved. So there have been multiple searches for Kara over the years. The searches have been by civilians, law enforcement, organizations. They did have a search group called Kara Hyde, the Kara Hyde Search Team. Lisa's mom says, I call on them often to go out and search with me. Some of Kara's supporters go out and search on their own at various places, so there's always someone looking for her somewhere. And at the present time, the reward stands at $4,000 for info. Any information on Kara's whereabouts, what possibly could have happened to her, if anybody saw anything strange, unusual, the day that she disappeared. And I always say this, no matter how small or insignificant you may think it is, no detail, every detail is important. So if you see something, say something, most definitely. So another question in Kara's case is, did she have a stalker? Now, her mother does believe that Kara could possibly have had a stalker. She says, quote, I believe my daughter fell victim to her stalker ex-boyfriend, which was allegedly, the same ex-boyfriend who had called Kara's mom and told her that she thought that Kara may be deceased in the Crawford Woods. Her mom says, I have many reasons to believe this, but she cannot talk about it. She believes that this ex-boyfriend allegedly OD'd Kara. Where he hid her body is the question in Lisa's mind, Kara's mom's mind. Her mom says, quote, my worst plausible scenario is that he burned her up and I will never find her. And this just breaks my heart whenever I read and hear statements like this from family members, especially from mothers. Now, I have to, just for complete transparency, all these statements are just allegations allegations that are coming from Lisa's mother. Now, I'm not saying that, because obviously I don't know, I wasn't there. I'm not saying that Kara's mom is, lying or making stories up, but just for the record, no statements from officials, from law enforcement authorities have ever been made regarding these allegations that Kara's mom has stated. She goes on to say, yes, she had a stalker. The ex stalked her. The same ex, she says this is the same ex that turned Kara against her mom. Her mom claims that this ex-boyfriend had control of all of Kara's social media platforms and could trace her every move. Her mom says, quote, I told the cops about my suspicions over him, and they did question him to my knowledge, but Elisa did not share anything more about the status of the investigation. So unknown. Law enforcement has not come out, like I said, publicly and made any statements regarding any of these allegations that Kara's mom has made. But in my opinion, they are definitely worth looking into. If just when people go missing, you have to go down follow up every tip, every lead, go down every avenue possible. It could lead to nothing, and it could lead to something. You just never know. And I'm sure that the police and law enforcement, you know, at least made reports and followed up. So in a quote or interview with the Cincinnati.com, Kara's older brother, Matthew Saylor, said that the long search without any results has been hard on his family, obviously. He says, quote, "It's just a nightmare. It is hard to believe that it's even real. As the time goes on, it gets realer and realer, but I just wish we could find some answers." And in these cases, I know from talking to family members of other missing persons that's all the family wants is just some kind of answers. What happened to their loved one? Um, Even if their loved one is no longer on this earth, it would start bringing a sense of closure and to start the healing process. Just to have their loved one with them, to give them, if they are deceased, to have give them a proper burial, lay them to rest, and continue and their journey of healing. Kara's mom has organized several events to aid in the search for Kara. They did a Honk for Kara rally in which supporters held up sign with pictures on the side of the road. They did a benefit to raise money for resources and a candlelight vigil. All these efforts, they said, would not be possible without the help from volunteers and supporters in the Find Kara Hyde Facebook group. And I will put a link to the Facebook group in the description box. I encourage you, please do check it out. Lots of good information there. Lisa's Kara's mom in the Cincinnati.com in an interview goes on to say, "They are keeping me going because without them, I would be alone in this, just me and the family. And there's no way we could have done the things that we have done and accomplished the things we have accomplished and be able to continue this campaign to bring her home without that group," talking about the group of volunteers. And that's the one thing that, and even in sad cases like this, that brings joy to my heart is whenever a person goes missing, that the community, 99.9% of the time, they rally around the family. They do everything they can to help the family, raising money, passing out flyers, searching, anything they can do to help the family bring the loved ones home, give them mental support, emotional support. Sometimes that is the most important thing, is just having the emotional support from your community. As Kara's mom said, that's what kept them going. So another question is, was Kara a victim of foul play? Once again, Kara's mom does believe that foul play was involved in Kara's disappearance. She says, quote, "I believe Kara did meet with foul play." She says, "A mother knows, that mother's instinct." She said, "I just need to find her so I can take care of her." She says, without, I can live without not knowing what happened to her, but I can't live without finding her. That is torture like no other." And that's what I was saying earlier. I've heard several other, like I said, family members that I've spoken to that have reached out to me with missing loved ones, that it's hard, but they can live with not knowing what happened, but they cannot live without knowing where their loved one is. So that's um, why it is so important and so essential to be able, if their loved one is deceased, which best possible outcome is that they are found alive and well. Unfortunately, in a lot of these cases, that is not the case. But just even being able to find them and bring them home um, is such a little bit of a relief, and lifts a little bit of the heaviness off of the family members' hearts, is just having them back home. Once again, laying them to rest, and going through their grieving process and healing process. Uh, Going back to her brother also said, quote, "She was really close to me, and as an older brother, I feel like I've let her down a little bit by not being able to save her." He goes on to say, "Her being missing now, it just breaks my heart." And that's also another thing that I've encountered from family members, is the guilt factor. What could I have done? What could I have done differently? If I realized something was going on sooner, how could I not see the signs? Things like that. And I know it's easier said than done, but of course, 99.9% of the times the family members do all they can to try to help their loved one. And sometimes if the loved one, once again, speaking from personal experience, it, you can do everything you can, but if your loved one does not want the help, if they don't want the help, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. But you do still feel that guilt. It's just unavoidable, unfortunately. He goes on to say, although it's not easy to stay hopeful, Lisa, her mom, is determined to find Kara. She says, quote, "I love her and I miss her so much, and I am going to find her. I will not stop until I find her." And that is all family members, but mama bears, mamas, they another recurring theme that I've encountered. Like I said, speaking with, and reading about family members, mothers will not stop until they get some kind of answer. And even if they don't get an answer, they do not stop looking. Do not give up hope, a lot of times, until they themselves take their last breath. They keep looking, keep searching. So if you have you can see the missing flyer I have there on the left. If you have any information regarding Kara's disappearance, please, like I said earlier, no piece of information, no matter how small or insignificant you think it may be, nothing is too small. So if you have any information regarding Kara, her case, her possible whereabouts, if you happen to see anything, if you see something, say something. Please contact the Hamilton Police Department at 513-868-5811, or the Cincinnati Crime Stoppers at 513 352 3040. All right, guys, that was our case of the week. As always, I implore you, please share this, share it anywhere you can. Social media platforms. If you're in any missing cold case or missing person Facebook groups or any social media, please share this anywhere and everywhere you can. Give it a thumbs up before you leave a comment. All those things help this information, very, very important information, reach as many people as possible. That is the whole goal of why I do these videos, why I do my channel, is to get this information out um, to as many people as possible. Please, before you leave, once again, if you've not already, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell so you get all notifications of when I upload videos or go live. Like, share, comment. Sharing, once again, most important thing you can do is share. I will say that I will run out into the ground. Share. That is the motto of our channel here, is share. So until next time, please take care of yourselves. Be careful out there. Take care of each other. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.